It's Sandra. Welcome to another episode of Asexualise, my asexual life. This is a place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual. I share my own personal life, asexual journey in order to help you in your own. If you're not already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button below right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon so you get notified of every time I go live right now or post a new video. So who I am, I'm Sandra Bellamy. I'm author of this awesome Asexual Perspectives 47 Asexual Stories book. I'm working on my second book for Asexuals, an asexuality coach, specialising in dating and relationships, but also obviously asexuality. And like I said, I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. So I basically give you asexuality in real life context of what's happening to me as we speak. And so this morning I woke up, or I should say this afternoon, because I've been doing lots of training lately, so I kind of didn't go to sleep for the early hours and woke up around about lunchtime. And so, yeah, I woke up to a really, really, really horrible dream. It was really bad. If you watched my last live stream last night, I was saying that part of what I was saying was that I was talking about my homo-romantic Indian friend and how it's nice to have an Indian guy friend. Their homo-romantics are into guys. That was really, really good. But I also talked about my mission with asexuality, which is to get it recognised as a sexual orientation in its own right throughout the globe, so that no asexual has to live in fear of ridicule ever again. Now, this is a big mission, right? There are people doing activism work. There are people getting in articles on TV, in newspapers, and we are moving forward in that regard. And it's really good because they are hitting some mainstream papers, you know, that actually are not geared towards asexuals or LGBT people as such, right? They're more geared towards the general population, geared towards what are predominantly going to be heterosexuals. So that is really the way we need to go if we want to get asexuality recognised globally as a sexual orientation in its own right, because we have to reach the majority of the people in the world, right? I mean, it's great that it's getting better known in the LGBT community, but, you know, that's not the majority, that's the minority. So if we want to really affect change on a global scale, we need to get it recognised as a sexual orientation globally in its own right. And that is a huge... Liam, hi Sandra, love you so much. Oh, lots of love to you. Thank you so much, Liam. Lovely to see you. So thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. You're a very valued member of the community here. Thank you, Liam. Really appreciate you. So in order to get it recognised as a sexual orientation in its own right throughout the globe, you know, we need to be doing more to get in the faces of heterosexuals, to be quite honest with you. And that is no easy task, you know, because how do you get through to heterosexuals when they kind of like speak a completely different language to us, right? Which is geared towards sex, basically. Sexual connotations, a lot of things they do in their life is in the context of sex, as we know. So it's very, very difficult. And, you know, I've personally been given the mission to get it recognised as sexual orientation in its own right globally. I mean, obviously, there are other people doing activism work, not just me. There are other asexuals. But I specifically been given this mission, I believe, by the powers above. And so that is really like difficult for me to be able to see how I can do that on a global scale. You know, I'm not really rich, so it's not like I can go and put billboard adverts everywhere or anything like that, which would, I think, help a bit if it was like in major cities across the UK. That's a, you know, really good idea, that type of thing. So, but it's like, how do I get it to a global scale, and how do I take my skills that I have already and that use on this channel quite a lot to like reach a global audience? And as you know, I specialize a lot on this channel on dating and relationships. Obviously relationships can be friendship more than a romantic nature, but I am, as a romantic asexual, I do give a lot of advice on romantic relationships as well. So last year I had the idea to create a brand that was called Erogenicity. Now, the brand as it stands is meant to stand for being erogeneously generous with your partner. You don't have to have sex in order to be erogenous or erogeneously generous with a partner or date or, you know, intimate person, right? So you don't have to have sex at all. Being intimate and erogenous can be something that's completely not got any sexual intercourse and, you know, whatsoever, which is my preference as an asexual who's personally sex repulsed, right? So erogenicity is all about having, you know, more sensuality, more passion, more sensuality and satisfaction in your dating relationships. Thank you for the thumbs up, by the way, love you to bits. And obviously, you know, that channel, I've been doing challenges this week, right? I'm doing 2 challenges. One has just ended. I've got to watch the replays of the other one, and one of them, that there's 7 it's called a 3-day VIP challenge, is to grow a VIP business from scratch, basically. So a new business, you know, like make a start on it, you know, face your fears, do it anyway, all that type of thing. So I'd planned to create my erogenicity channel in a couple of months. Like, I've been procrastinating it. I've been very scared about doing it because it's not something I'm sure I want to do in some ways, you know. I'm really scared about it, right? And so it's, you know, it's difficult because I'm asexual. I'm personally sex repulsed for me. So I've got all the fears of, like, am I going to be able to handle doing stuff on that channel because I'm personally sex repulsed? Am I going to make myself feel sick? Am I going to get people that are just so sexually orientated on that channel it's just going to make me want to puke and walk away from the whole thing? Is it going to upset me? Is it going to be like, it's going to be really difficult for me in some ways to do that as a sex repulsed asexual? And so, you know, I created the channel art. I did a really good logo which I thought represented exactly all the type of branding I wanted with erogenicity. I've created the channel. I've actually got my first subscriber, who's someone who does follow this channel as well. Hello to you, thanks for your support. Someone who, you know, who doesn't mind, you know, sex, so they're okay about, you know, that channel, because obviously that's going to be geared more towards sex and sexuals and sexual content, right? And that's just the thing. You see, I've created the brand, I've created the channel, and, you know, I've got my first subscriber, and you know, I just don't know. Like, I woke up this morning, like I said, this afternoon, I had this most horrible dream, and heterosexuals are the ones who don't believe it is an orientation. I know, Liam, and that's the ones I have to get through to. That's my dilemma, you know. I know how to get through to them. I do know how to get through to them. I know how to speak their language because I've been in heterosexual relationships for over half my life. I know how to get them to listen to their advantage. I know exactly what to say, how to say it, and how to get them to take us seriously by speaking their language and by it being to their advantage to know we're definitely asexual and asexuals exist. I know what to do. And if I'm in my confident phase, I'm thinking, yeah, this is great, go for it. But like this morning, I had a dream, and it was a sexual abuse dream, you know. And obviously, if you had abuse before, you're not really going to want to hear this. And I don't know how much to say because it's very distressing, and I was very upset. But I was in the dream, and it was a movie. I was watching a movie in the dream. I was aware that it wasn't reality. It was a movie, but I was in the movie as a spectator without actually being a character in the movie. It was a very, very weird dream. And it did have this person who'd been sexually abused. And, you know, this person was not in a very good way, you know. I don't want to upset you by saying what they were like, but it was very distressing for me. And I did get really upset about it. As you can see, I'm upset now. And so I don't know if I can do it anymore and go through with that channel because I'm so upset. But I have to remember it's just a dream, and I have to remember that's my fear coming out. And, you know, like building a business from scratch, building a brand, it requires you to push through a lot of fears and anxieties and you know, get out of your comfort zone. It's what is required of you. But it's like, in some ways, I'm really upset. In some ways, it's like it's the opposite to what I am about, because I'm asexual. I'm personally sex repulsed. I can't stop crying now. So, you know, and it was horrible. You know, the person's body wasn't in a good way. You know, I know it's just a dream, but it was very real to me. And, you know, there was well, I don't think I should go into it really because it might upset you. But I was really upset by it. And I think I don't know if I can go through with this anymore, you know? And I kind of feel like, in part, like sexuals are the enemies to asexuals. But then if I think about it logically, they're not the enemy at all, you know? My parents aren't asexual. They had me. I wouldn't be born without sex. I wouldn't be here to help you. And it's not that, you know, and if sex is consensual and sexuals love sex and they're having a happy, jolly time, I'm really pleased for them. I don't actually have a problem with other people having sex when it's consensual and people are happy and enjoying it and it's fun for them. I think that's great, you know, for them, even though I'm not interested in having sex myself. But, you know, and I guess it's not really sexuals at all the enemy. It's the way society has been bringing us up. It's the way people have been conditioned by the whole of society for years, you know? Liam, I hate to see you upset. You're a beautiful, strong person. Thank you, Liam. And so, you know, it's not that sexuals are actually, you know, like evil or the enemy. It's actually the way people are brought up. Can't stop crying. This is what I get like. Once I start, I can't stop. And I've been doing training as well. It was quite emotional training, actually. The person was really sweet who did it. And so, you know, it's like society and the way people are brought up, and it's like, you know, but it's because I said on this channel last night that I wanted to do that brand to help, you know, to get through to sexuals, to stop like rapes and to stop sexual abuse as much as possible. Obviously I can't stop it, but if I can just reduce it a little, as much as possible, even a little bit, ideally a lot, it would be fantastic, you know. But it requires me to, you know, talk about sexual stuff. It requires me to be the opposite in some ways of what I am personally. Not always, because I have got a erogenous side to me with the guy's upper body, you know. But it's like last night I created my academy, my course site. I started creating the foundation for that brand. I also created a foundation for another brand, which is the Entrepreneurial Make Money World. And that other brand, I started creating like outlines of courses for the other brand, which is the brand I was going to do after the Erogenicity brand. And it's teaching people how to make money online and some of the mistakes I've made and interviewing other entrepreneurs that have made a lot of money, because I haven't made tons of money like a lot of the entrepreneurs have, but, you know, it's interviewing them and about mindset and motivation, you know. And so that's what that channel's going to be. I've got a channel that I set up a while ago, but I haven't got any information on there. But you know, I've learned a lot in 8 years of entrepreneurship, what does and doesn't work online, you know, like courses and books and affiliate marketing, that type of thing. So I can still help people who are like startup solopreneurs, that type of thing. So when I started doing the academy for that, and I started doing the course, I'm doing the course outline, everything was great. I was feeling so good. I was like, it's easier to me because I've learned all this stuff and I know I can educate other people and don't, you know, so they don't make the same mistakes that I did and waste time and money and hours of their life, basically. I mean, it's not a waste because obviously I've learned a lot. But when I'm doing the Erogenicity brand, I put the academy together. I did the foundation of it, just set up, and I was like, I don't know what courses to do. Like, I had in mind a course before, but now I'm really scared about doing it. And so, like, I kind of feel like I don't know if I want to go ahead with it or not. But I feel like I could regret it if I don't do it. Do you know what I mean? Like this morning, I think maybe I should just forget the whole thing. But then that would be a travesty. Is that the word? Yeah, because like I am really good at teaching people, helping people with dating relationships. You know, I'm the 21st century dating relationships coach and mentor that's never been around before. All these other people are living in the dark ages, you know. I can really, really make a difference because I can teach them, you know, to accept other people different to them. And there was a way that I specifically do it that speaks their language, you know, and I can be very outspoken. I can talk sex stuff, make sex jokes, even though I have no intention of doing it myself. But, you know, it's just really difficult for me because I love asexuals so much, and I don't want asexuals to think I don't care about them anymore. You know, because I do, and obviously I care about myself as well. So I just like, you know, I don't want you to feel like I'm leaving you, but, you know, and then I'm thinking, well, if I upload videos, what will I upload? Because it's easy for me to do these videos because easy in the sense of like it's my everyday life I share with you, my asexual life, and it just feels so good to share and to be, you know, part of this community that is like, wow, you know, gone from strength to strength, really. I've got stuff on my eye now, probably an eyelash. You know, and so I feel like it's, you know, like I'm comfortable here. It's like being in my lounge with you, well, my bedroom. And so it feels really good and comfortable, but that is way out my comfort zone. And if I do it, I've got to be very strong and confident in that, because I can't obviously be like this. One of my friends I spoke to, my Indian homo-romantic friend, he's really nice. He seems to understand me quite well. And I explained the dream, and he's like, he was kind of two different opinions. One is that if it's really hurting and upsetting me, then it's not good for me, like, don't do it. And the other, when I explained to him that, you know, like, you have to get out of your comfort zone in life and you have to do things even though they're difficult, you know, he then said, well, maybe try and detach from it, you know, like, instead of like feeling like, obviously I'm a very empathetic person and I've got a lot of feelings and emotions, clearly. And he said maybe kind of detach from it more, so that you, I guess, so that it feels more like a job. Like, this is my passion, this is my community, this is the thing I love, but that's more like a job, I guess, you know, like to detach from it more. And maybe that's how I can do it. Maybe I can think, you know, but you know what I'm like, I put my heart and soul into everything I do. Now I can't help but care. You know, I guess I care far more about asexuals than I do about sexuals, but in order to help asexuals, I really believe that I have to help sexuals more. You know, so many sexuals are even being given really bad information online, mind game stuff, manipulation tactics. They're never going to have a happy, healthy relationship like that. They're just not, you know. There's so much. I watch dating coaches, you know, and I've seen really bad coaches, I mean disgusting ones, and you know, who literally how to play games to get people to have sex with them, you know, and mind manipulation and control. It's disgusting, you know. And then I have seen, there's a couple of coaches that are really good and nice coaches, you know, and there's some that are kind of in between. But, you know, the difference with me is because I am asexual, you know, I come from a completely different perspective. I come from a modern perspective where you accept people that are different, you know, like trans, non-binary, asexual, you know, LGBT. You accept people as different. And that's what I can bring to the table that dating coaching has never really seen before. They you know, like traditional dating coaching, like obviously I've got this channel for asexual dating relationships coaching specifically, but the sexual market has never seen a 21st century modern dating coach. In my personal opinion, they're all very old hat. They're all very what works for caveman era. It's like we're not in caveman era anymore. We're in the 21st century digital age. Do you know what I mean? You need to get with the times. And, you know, and there's so many people that are scamming online as well. And, you know, I do a lot of videos on this channel to help prevent, you know, people getting hurt online, you know, to, you know, keep people safe. And I do think I could offer that to them as well, you know, and it would help them a lot. And I've got huge expertise in dating and relationship, especially online dating. I've been online dating for 6 years now. And so I've got a lot of experience, you know, and I feel like if I don't do it, I might regret it, because I bought the brand name last year. I've set up the channel, but I just feel so scared. It's like, oh my God, but maybe if I just think about it as a job, because if I go out and do some work for someone, I'll be working for sexuals anyway, maybe not in the same way, because it won't be such sexual content, in the sense it won't be geared towards, you know, like obviously some of that content talking about erogenous stuff is going to be geared more to sexual stuff, isn't it? So maybe if I just think about it like a job, and that I'm providing a service and help and support to people, you know, because I was thinking today, you know, I'd probably rather do a day job be sat there being bored than do that and help sexuals. But, you know, it's not really right, is it? I need to get asexuality recognised globally, and the only way I'm really going to do that, I think, is by getting through to heterosexuals, is by doing something like that. I mean, how it's going to be very difficult to do it else, you know, particularly because they will pay attention, because they're focused on dating and relationships. They'll pay attention more, you know, because of the way I'm going to put it to them, you know. But obviously I won't just be talking about my asexuality. That'll be like my personal story that I'll share with them at the beginning. I will bring it up in instances, but I won't be talking about asexuality all the time like I do on this channel, because I'll be doing videos geared towards what they're interested in, you know. So it's just a bit scary for me. The dream really freaked me out this morning, because it's like I don't want to help people that are sexually abuse people, but you know what I mean? But not all sexuals are like that, some sexuals are beautiful. I've got sexual friends, as well as asexual friends. And it's not the individual that's a problem, it's just society as a whole that keeps shoving conditioning down their throat and, pushes people to believe that rubbish. And so if we can re-educate these people in a way that speaks to them and their genitals basically, then you can get through to them, because if it affects them, then they'll take notice. If it doesn't affect them, they won't. So I need to phrase it. I know how I'm going to phrase it in such a way that it will affect them if they don't accept asexuality is real. And I am very, very strong person, like, even though I'm upset tonight, so I think I can do it, but I'm just so scared because I think, oh well, what will I post, what videos will I post? Like, here is no problem, here's the love of my life. I've got another channel that I don't actually post very much on, which I had years before I had this channel, but this channel is so much more natural to me. It's more easier for me to create content because it's just my life I share all the time, the ups and the downs of it, really, and any information that I've learned over the years to help you, so it's just really difficult. I was thinking, I'm not sure if I can go through with it, but I've said that I'll start posting videos on that channel as early as next week. That was one of the commitments I said in the challenge I've just done. And so it's kind of like crazy. It's like, oh my God, that's next week. So like, how are you going to do that? And so, it's kind of like something I was putting off for a couple of months. But, putting stuff off isn't a good thing either, because, like this week, I've got like 2 new academies for those 2 new brands. I already had the channel for the other brand. I didn't have the erogenicity channel. I've done all the artwork for the erogenicity one, but not for the other channel. I haven't actually set my website up properly yet for either of them. And, it's kind of like I've moved forward hugely, but it's because I like literally just went and did it without thinking too much about it. Because I think when we think and we procrastinate, it causes a lot of pain. But I just don't want to end up doing that brand and feeling like I've betrayed asexuality, or that people won't think I'm asexual anymore, or people will be like, why are you doing that? If you support asexuals, or asexual might feel I'm not supporting them enough, because asexuality is my passion. It's the love of my life. I literally live and breathe it. I run 5 asexual groups on Facebook. I run asexual pages. I obviously run my websites, like my life is so focused on asexuality. I literally live it every single day of my life. But it's not going to stop me being asexual just because I help sexuals. And like I said, if I go out to a job, I may not be directly doing as much to do with sexuals, but even if I worked at a retail job selling products, I'm still going to be selling them to sexuals. Do you know what I mean? They're probably not going to be sexual in nature, but you know what I mean? So it's kind of like really difficult for me. It's like, do I do it or not? But I think once I make my mind up about something, I tend to just go through that. I think, if I don't do it, what's the alternative? Like, how am I going to reach that amount of mass people? I mean, obviously I have to do videos of a sexual nature to grab their attention in the beginning, because that's their language they speak. It's like no good, like I don't know, going to France and then speaking in German. They're just not going to understand it. Do you know what I mean? So I need to speak their language, so it's just a bit daunting for me. It's a bit like, but we did this meditation in the challenge, and it was a meditation about like having a second chance, like redoing your life over again, that type of thing, like if you're going to do forward. And I actually, in the meditation, in my visualization, I could see myself like having a seminar with men and women there who predominantly were from the erogenicity channel, and I was helping them with their dating relationships, and the women were so happy that I kept them safe and stopped them from getting into abusive relationships. And the guys were so happy that I could help them find like satisfying relationships and be better guys for the women in the relationships. They got more satisfying relationships. They improved their dating relationship skills. So I actually saw like how that brand could be and how I could actually do really well and be super successful in it. you know, and that was a visualization that I didn't expect, because I never expected to be helping people with dating relationships years ago. That's one of the last things I thought I'd ever be doing. Like when I was at school, 15 years old, and I did birth certificate age, and I did work experience. I did work experience as a dog grooming parlor. I wanted to be a dog beautician. I did a week's work experience. Oh my gosh, it was very difficult. I love the dogs, but it's very hard work, you know, because you're totally shampooing them, blow drying them. You had to pick the wax out of their ears, which was really horrible because they didn't have anesthetic. You just had to do it. It was that I didn't like that at all. I thought that was a bit cruel, to be honest. I didn't like that. You had to get tweezers and pull it out, and it just made me feel like, oh, it's not nice doing this. But yeah, that was for a week. I either wanted to be a dog beautician, a masseuse, which is massage, which is kind of weird considering I don't actually, or didn't in the past, like touching people and touching bodies. I don't know, but I used to massage my mum's shoulders and stuff, and she used to love it. So I used to be good at that, but I used to make my hands ache after a while. And then the other thing was actually working with children, even though I don't want kids of my own, because I can't really well with kids. I just don't want them of my own. So that was what I was thinking about years ago. That's when I did work experience. I think I was 15 when I did that. But also I wanted to be a radio presenter since I was 15, a professional radio presenter. And I did voluntary hospital radio presenting for years of my life. And you know, I really enjoyed that, you know, and that's what I wanted to be until 2009. And then I got into, like, I knew writing was my life purpose, and I just switched over to that. 2009 seems ages ago now, and I switched over to that, you know, and decided that writing was my life purpose. And obviously if I do that channel, the erogenicity, I can write loads of books for sexuals as well, like dating, relationships, romance books, all those type of books. Like a lot of asexuals are aromantic asexuals, so they don't really want, you know, a lot of them don't want relationships. They're not really, you know, I'm still going to write books for asexuals as well, obviously, because I'm going to get my Asexual Guide to Sex book out next. But I do want a bigger audience for that book as well. I want it to get in the hands of sexuals, so it categorically can prove to them that asexuality is real. You know, obviously it's written predominantly for asexuals, but you know, I want sexuals to read it. I want them to know and understand this is real. This is the truth that people don't want you to know, that society doesn't want you to know, that you've been conditioned for years not to know about, you know, because with the Asexual Guide to Sex, people will be able to see physically in written form, in the words, that asexuality is very real, and asexuals really do feel very differently about sex. Their whole attitude, their mindset, how they think and feel about sex is completely different to any other sexual orientation. That book can make complete history and change the world. I really believe that. The only way I'm going to do that is reaching a global audience. And the only way I'm going to do that is getting it through to more sexuals. And how I have to do that is talking more sexual stuff on the other channel that I've set up that I haven't done any videos for yet. So, you know what I mean? It's all quite logical, really. But it's just like, you know, it's very, being a personally sex repulsed asexual for me these days. And obviously, like, knowing that some sexuals do abuse people in terms of sexual abuse, it's just really upsetting for me, because I don't want to obviously like have to deal with those types of people, you know. But I hope to make the world a better place like that. I hope to teach sexuals to make sure everything is consensual, and I'll be promoting that on the channel, the other channel a lot. But it's just like really terrifying in the sense that, you know, you don't know who you're talking to, and some people can take erogenous stuff and they can use it to their own advantage. But I guess those type of people are the type of people that would always do that anyway. You know, they're always going to be bad people in the world. I can't account for them. You know, all I can do is teach them the good stuff, and, you know, like that, you know, you want to be doing stuff that's consensual, that people want it, then it's beautiful and nice for both of you. There's no point in trying to do it with someone who doesn't actually want it. It's ridiculous. So yeah, that's my worries and fears, and that's what I woke up thinking this morning. I'm not sure if I can do this. Maybe we should just give it all that up. Not this channel, but give all that up. But if I don't do it, you know, it's like, what's the alternative? Like, how am I going to get asexual? I mean, obviously the Asexual Guide to Sex book, you know, if that gets more hands, that's great. But I still need to like impact hundreds of thousands of people, and I can't do a Facebook ad because Facebook will not allow me to promote any book that's of a sexual nature. So the fact it's just called Asexual Guide to Sex, even though asexuals don't want sex in general, broad terms, asexuality is not asexuals not interested in sex, because the content, the book is about Asexual Guide to Sex, as asexuals have had sex before, you know. Facebook won't allow that type of ad. So I can't do that book as is for a Facebook ad. I can't reach that. You can't stick a Facebook ad and get global people to read it. I mean, obviously, predominantly, I want asexuals to read it, and asexuals are on Facebook, but I can't do an ad for it. I tried an ad before, and they just won't allow it. It goes against their policy, so there's no way I can advertise it, which means I have to reach an organic audience, which I can do through this channel. I mean, obviously, I'm going to be promoting it lots. I'm going to be approaching a lot of newspapers, magazines, and stuff like that for the Asexual Guide to Sex, but it's probably going to take me 2 months of promotion. And once I start doing that book again, which I'm going to be starting from 1st of September 2020, next week, then I'm going to be telling you how it's going, because that's going to be a very emotional thing for me to write. I've left my part to the end to write the majority of my part. I've still got a couple of people I've got to work with on the stories more. One person I'm working with on the first again. We're looking forward to that. But the majority of the other stories are done, and then I'll have to get to my own, and it's going to be emotional. I mean, the stuff I've already written so far is I've got to go back in my past and think about things that aren't necessarily great that have happened, and things that are okay, and I have to actually analyze how I felt about sex and the whole practical thing, and it's kind of really difficult putting yourself as a sex repulsed asexual back to when you did have that. You have to think about it logically, was it okay? Was the experience nice? Was it not nice? Despite the fact you didn't really want it in the first place, but it was consensual, how did you actually feel about it? What was good? What was not good? To help other asexuals. So I'm going to go through quite a lot of emotional stuff with that, as it is anyway. It's going to come up. And it's not just me, it's everyone that's taken part in the book. I think it's everyone that's taken part in the book has had some emotions evoked in them, because they're going back to for quite a few of them, they're going back to parts of their life that they don't necessarily want to remember, but they feel they need to help other asexuals. And I cannot stress how brave and courageous those people are. So brave and courageous. I really appreciate every single one of them that's in that Asexual Guide to Sex. But I know it's taken a lot of courage. I know, because I've spoken to them in private message. So yeah, with the erogenicity brand, I'm in an R, and I'm guessing it's probably something I will go through with, because I don't usually start something and not go through with it. And but I'm very scared. But maybe if I treat it like my homo-romantic friend said, more like a job, and detach from it, and just think, that's my work. Asexuality, asexual community is my life, happiness and pleasure. And that's more my work then, and I'll serve people and help people there as a job. So it's more like a job. If I separate them, maybe that'll be good for me, because I need to learn the art of detachment anyway, and I need to learn to not be so emotionally invested in stuff. Sometimes it's not always healthy for me. So maybe that's a lesson I need to learn, and maybe that's a channel that'll actually really help me to do that. So I guess what I'm saying is I probably will go ahead with it, and I'll have to start uploading video from next week, because I've already said that I'll probably have to create my personal story video, and as I've already said it, I've got to go ahead and do it, because I think you have to do things what you say you're going to do. So yeah, I'm a bit scared about that, but it's got to be done, I think. And my other channel, the entrepreneur one, that's going to be phenomenal, because I'm kind of it's a lot easier for me to do that, because it's experience I've learned, and I've got friends, entrepreneur friends, that will go on there and be interviewed by me, and I can help loads of people with their mindset and motivation as well. I'm very good at mindset and motivation. So yes, I'm really looking forward to that channel. It's the erogenicity that I'm scared, but I mean, I need to fulfill my life mission of getting asexual recognised globally. And at the moment, it's not like I've got thousands of pounds to shove at it to do big ads, and I can't do ads on Facebook anyway. So you know what I mean, to actually have a global campaign that lasted a year would be phenomenal amounts of money, for example. So I think I've got to continue with my plan, really. And it might be the best decision I've ever made in my life. Oh, it will be the best decision I've ever made in my life, because I can't say it might, I have to say it will. I think the good thing is to remember that you can always stop something if you need to stop it. I have to remember that if it becomes too detrimental to my mental health or emotional well-being, I can stop at any time. But once you do a channel, you really have to put time, energy and effort into it a lot, whatever a channel is, to make it grow and to get people to, be interested in it. Obviously I've put a lot of time in this channel. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. you know, and I just wanted to share it with you because I think it's important to share my asexual life journey. I think it's important to note that when you're a sexual repulsed asexual person for yourself, yet you're helping other people that aren't asexual, I think it can be very difficult sometimes, you know, because you have to think of yourself and you also have to think of others at the same time that are different to you, very different, like opposite. But if I'm going to do that, I'm going to go and do it full out and confidently and courageously. And do you know what I mean? Like, just imagine if it did go well. Like, instead of thinking negatively, imagine if it went superbly well. And like in a couple of months' time, I got thousands and thousands of people following me on there. And I was able to get my Asexual Guide to Sex book in thousands of people's hands. And they were like, wow, I never knew this existed, you know? And their minds were completely blown. And it's like, my God, I didn't know this. And just imagine if some of those people that watch that channel are actually asexual, because there's bound to be some asexuals that would come over to that channel not even realizing that, you know, that they're asexual. There might be some more great asexuals or demisexuals that go over to that. Do you know what I mean? And just imagine, even if I got just a fraction of those people to realize, well, you know, like some asexuals, they fantasize about sex, but they don't actually want it themselves. So, you know, I might reach those type of people with that channel. I might reach people that just do like erogenous stuff without intercourse, you know? So, you know, it's like hugely possible that it could be huge scope for like really spreading the word about asexuality and for really changing the dating and relationship scene on a global scale, you know? And I do believe that if you're going to do something, you need to be confident, courageous, and play full out in it. And literally bite the bullet and say, sod it, I'm going to be the best at what I do. I think it's really important. So yeah, once I upload my first video, I'll be like, that's the mindset I've got. That's what I'm doing. And when I tell my personal story video, obviously I'll say that I've got 5 years of experience on this channel. But I have, you know, I have noticed that I do get sexuals like wanting my help on this channel and in groups as well. I really can help them. I kind of know the answers that they're looking for. I had someone in one of the groups and they were just like, oh, thanks for your advice. It makes sense. Yeah, I've done what you said, you know. And there was someone called a love coach who was giving them advice too, but they took my advice. Do you know what I mean? Amongst tons of them. So, you know, I must be doing something right, you know, to get through to someone in the midst of loads and loads of people, you know. I do know stuff really a lot because I've got lots of experience. So I guess what I'm saying is I'll go for it. Oh man, I'm gonna say that. It's like I'm so scared. But I think the best things live on the other side of fear. And that if we don't push through our fears and boundaries, we don't grow, develop ourselves, and that's what we need to do in life. You know, and that brand has a potential to be phenomenal brand. And also, you know, like I might get more asexual interviews through that as well, or to spread the word on more stages about asexuality, because my personal story will derive from this channel of how I came to do that channel. Do you know what I mean? So it's going to be featured. Yeah. So yeah, I'm kind of really looking forward to it when I say it like that. Sandra, you're just talking yourself into doing it. That's what I hoped with this video, because I think it's really important, like when you're upset about something, to share your emotions, your feelings and your thoughts, and you know, so you can kind of get them out in the open, and then you don't feel so bad, and then you like look at the positives more. That's what I do anyway. I kind of look more at the positives because I like to think about things in positive state, not in negative state. So I was really upset. But, you know, I mean, I could potentially stop a lot more abuse by doing that channel, you know, if they're listening to someone who's really good for them and who's not going to give them rubbish advice and manipulation and controlling tactics, which are to be avoided, you know, like the plague. I got a lot of experience in dealing with those types of people, manipulators and that, which I can save people, you know, like no one's going to have a happy, healthy, loving relationship if they're being controlled by a manipulator. But lots of people don't even recognize the warning signs of these manipulators. They don't even realize. They think, oh, they're being friendly. It's like, read between the lines. Read between the lines. A lot of people don't even know how to have passion without sex. They don't even know how to do that, which I'll be teaching on that channel as well. So yeah, I think that's all good. I think it's good. I think it's good. I'm glad that I chatted with you tonight. It's really helped me. So yeah, do you see the emotional journey I just went on then? Yeah, I think pretty good. I'm feeling good about the erogenicity brand now. Like all of a sudden I'm feeling really good. It's because I talk to you, you know, like you are my guides in my community. You are beautiful. Without you, I wouldn't be here. You know, I wouldn't be doing this channel. And I just feel you're so supportive, and I just feel I can always come to you about anything and everything, you know, and I just feel like, you know, you're beautiful. And it's really nicely, and thank you for saying that I'm a beautiful, strong person. I really, really appreciate that, you know, and I really appreciate the love that you always give to me. I really, really appreciate it. I feel your love and warmth every time I come on here and you say that. You make me smile so much, you know, just to have you, you know, like your support is just incredible. You know, I think you're a wonderful human being, Liam. You know, you really lift me up. You know, you make me feel so happy to be alive. You make me feel incredible. And I think you're a beautiful person. You know, I really do, with a kind heart, you know. And it's heterosexuals, like you say, I've got to get through to these heterosexuals. I've got to do whatever it takes, no matter how scared I am. I've got to do whatever it takes. So wish me the best of luck with that. I'll still be doing this channel, obviously. I'll still be helping asexuals. So yeah. But I'm very nervous. See, I'm going back to a bit of a nervous state now, but I've got to remain positive and good, thinking that I can do that, that I'm going to be really good at it. I'm going to be the best because I've got a unique asexual perspective. At the end of the day, that's what matters. That's what counts. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you for now. I'll see you on the next video live stream. I want to say thank you so much for helping me talk this through. Thanks for helping me feel better about doing that. Thanks for, like, you know, like sharing your feelings and energy with me. I can feel it through the screen. Thank you, Liam, so much for your support. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. If you're new to this channel, you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button below. Please hit that bell icon to get notified every time I go live. I know I post a new video. I love you lots. Thanks for your support as always. Embrace your quirky and each other's. Take care. Lots of love. Bye. Bye.